Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents, we're gonna play a little mix, a little soft 80s rock. And Michael Bolton, y'all know Michael, Eric Clapton, George Michaels, Elton, whatever his name is, don't care about that mother. Anyway, Phil Collins, and we got Foreigner, and we're gonna have Journey, and we might have a little bit of Chicago. You know, we're gonna take a little time. Okay. I don't like this. It's gonna pick up in a second, but I'm gonna play the mix. I'd rather go to the mix so that I don't have to keep changing and being surprised. So let's see if it's gonna take a little time, and then I'm gonna have to wait. Let's see if I can take care of this now. If it'll let me. Nah, it's switching between rhymes and reasons, so give me a moment. Got a couple of things I gotta show y'all. I need this right here. In my life, there's been heartache and pain. I hate it when they redo a song. They need to leave it alone. But you know, who am I to tell them how to do their music? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I just need to get here so that I can turn down the volume. You know what? It's nothing wrong with that volume. It's the volume in my ear, so I have to turn down my volume. That has an effect on the volume of the video, but I can't have it too loud, and so because I need to be able to focus on the conversation I'm about to have with you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, the one thing you need to know, because most people don't get it, most people don't understand it. Promissory notes, what are they? Ladies and gentlemen, as you've already found out, promissory notes are bonds. Are you sure? Promissory notes are bonds. No, they're not. Okay, let's do some research here. We're gonna go here. We're gonna let this finish because this is a pretty big file. This is definitely a pretty big file. See how that right there? Okay, this is a pretty big file. Okay, this thing is 254 pages. This is a federal registry, so we're gonna let the federal registry pull up. Sorry, I just had looked in the cameras, saw a vehicle coming down the street kind of fast. Needed to see who that was. Alright, rule development. This is form RD 451-20. Just look it up. The first thing you're going to notice, and I want you to understand, this is notice and acknowledgement of final payment. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever you're making a purchase, you always have to do an acknowledgement. I know nobody told you that. I learned that from Rob Ryder. So there you go. That's right, Rob Ryder. Because he delves into the finer art of things. And so I give Rob his credit. Let's talk. Section 1. Notice of final payment to the investor. You will receive under a separate cover United States Treasury check described above. That's the information on the Treasury check. This check should pay the above described insured loan in full. Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. It says it pays it in full, not partial. If it pays it in full, then the borrower doesn't owe anything. This check should pay the above described insured loan in full with interest due you to the date of the Treasury check. If your records agree, please complete and execute Section 11. Wait a minute, this is Section 1. Where is Section 11 of the original of this form? When you receive the payment and send it. So, ladies and gentlemen, where's the rest of this form? Now, I want y'all to understand, I didn't understand this before, just now. But pay attention. Form RD 415. So let's do that right there. Forget that. I don't want 20. I want RD 415. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that car that just went down my street just came back down on the opposite side of my street. For whatever dumb reason. Oh well. See, there's a 26, there's a 20, but this is the PDF. I don't want that fillable one. No, see, this is the one we're looking at now. I don't want 26. I want the whole document. Okay, I want the entire document. So let me see if I can find the entire document. Because you notice it says, along with form number 11. See, this is payment, application of payments on real estate accounts. Now that's interesting, ladies and gentlemen. I'd never looked this stuff up before, but let's go here. Does it really feel like that? All I know, it feels like I'm tired. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. According to our records, you agreed to pay, which includes finance charges, at an annual percentage rate of blah blah blah. Indebtedness on or before, it says on your rule blah blah on or before, please make payments on the date indicated. Make a check or money order payable to Rural Development or Farm Service Agency if applicable. Rural Development, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the envelope. United States Department. Ladies and gentlemen, they literally give you the prepaid envelope on the form. All you gotta do is take that label and affix it to the envelope. No postage due. Interesting. Okay, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I need the entire set of forms. I don't just need this one. Let's do this. Because we know that there are at least 23, let's do one. Let's see what one to give me. Nope, it took me back to 3, so that ain't gonna work. Oh, you know what? I think I understand why it took me to 3. Let's see. Come on back up here. I need to see the page number here. Nope, it still says 3. So we'll leave it that way. Let's go backwards. Still feels like best time together. Let's go backwards again. Give me a second to find this. I'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, I did complete set of forms. So it's taking me to HUD.gov, where their forms are located, which is what I needed. So you have the HUD-1 form, which many of you have attached to your mortgages. That lets you know that your home loan is a HUD loan. You're going to learn something here, so I want you to stay till the end, because you're going to learn something throughout this video. This is not just me talking. I am tired enough right now. I'm so tired of you saying that you're tired. Well, tell your mama that I got 2 fingers. She can choose which one she wants to sit and spin, or she can sit on both of them and spin till her heart's content. Enough said, right? Alright, I'm going to keep doing my video my way. Ladies and gentlemen, I am looking for the complete set of forms. I don't care about Ginnie Mae, or Freddie Mae, or Fannie Mae. Ginnie Mae, Freddie Mac, and Fannie Mae. I don't care about none of them. United States government official hub for federal forms. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go to their official forms. You guys can go there. You know how I got to this site, so you can get to the same site. I don't want to get to the standard forms, the GSA forms. I don't need all of those. Matter of fact, I don't care about those. I only want the HUD forms. But this is the HUD 1. I'm going to go to Federal Housing Administration. Let's see if we can get a better understanding. Legal requirements for code closings. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what code this is, but it says section 207, 220, 221, D4, 231, 232. This is FHA form number 1022. Okay, this was, pay attention, take a look at the year, people, 66. This has been the process for closing. So let's see what's in this closing form. I've never looked at it before, never seen it. Project name, name of mortgager, name of mortgagee. The closing attorney will obtain 3 copies of all closing documents. These will be originals or executed certified or conformed as indicated below. 3 different mortgages, ladies and gentlemen. Assignment of commitment, if any. Regulation of mortgage or regulatory agreement. This is why you're signing all those documents, ladies and gentlemen. Deferred note, if any. Lease, land description, title policy, building permits, surveyor plans. These are your closing documents, ladies and gentlemen. This is why you're signing all those papers. Ain't that interesting? Sorry, my phone is giving me this junk that I had to delete. Pay attention. Mortgager's oath. Mortgager's attorney's opinion. Contractor's certification. Agreement and certification. Agreement and certification. Sponsor's certification. Guarantee agreement, if subsidized, meaning the government, to have been filed with the director at least 30 days prior to initial closing. Ladies and gentlemen, do you understand? That's why the director of finance office is involved. All right, in cases of insurance upon completion or issuance upon completion, the required closing documents will vary substantially from those cases of issuance and of an advancement. The required closing documents in cases of issuance upon completion will be the following. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the documents that you're signing every time. Okay? These are the documents that are being sent every single time. If it's not these, it's documents that are similar. So when you get a chance, by the way, you got, ladies and gentlemen, you don't know. He's going to tell y'all in a second. Alright, so this was where I got it from. This is HUD.gov/program. Come on, get out of the way. _ offices _ administration. Excuse me. Let me say it again. HUD.gov/programs _ offices with an S / administration / HUD clips CLIPS HUD clips / forms with an S / FHA. That's how you get a list of their forms, and I just clicked on it because I saw requirements for closing. Okay, interesting. Declaration of covenants, conditions, articles of incorporation of association, bylaws of association. Now that's interesting. Regulatory agreement, save your home, tips to avoid foreclosure, instructions for leasehold 207 projects, model form mortgagee title evidence, rental house projects, income analysis appraisals, multifamily valuation data instructions, request for a copy of this form, HUD Direct Distribution Center. You can't get this form. You have to actually ask them for the form. Multifamily valuation data and instruction. This is your homes, ladies and gentlemen. Multifamily homes are conventional home loans. Loan contract and trust agreement. Okay. Reservation of rent supplement Project management requests endorsement of for mortgage insurance. Endorsement for mortgage insurance. The endorsement for mortgage insurance. Request for permission to commence construction prior to initial endorsement for mortgage insurance. Property insurance requirement. Request for endorsement of credit instrument certificate of mortgagee, mortgager, and general contractor. Pay attention. Request for credit instrument certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, what is a credit instrument certificate? You remember, your loan is a consumer credit transaction. So let's check out this credit instrument certificate. To love somebody, you don't know what it's like, y'all. We're going to let that catch up to us, and we're going to come back. I don't think we're going here. We've already done the HUD one, so we don't need to do the HUD one. Or do we? No, we did need to do the HUD one because I said I was going to let it finish, but it hasn't finished. We are stuck in limbo. Oh well. Reminds me of a story I was writing. Flight 760 or something like that in limbo, where the people take off. You guys have seen the series Manifest. Well, I wrote this before Manifest was even on TV. Wrote it back in 1993, 1994. And it was flight, I think it was 760. It's been a long time since I looked at the document. Flight something in limbo, where the people take off and the plane never lands. They never run out of food, but they stay in the air the entire time. And the little conflicts that happen in space, I mean not in space, but in the sky, on that plane, with those passengers, yes, in limbo. It was just an idea I had. I mean, what if you did get on a plane and the plane never landed? You know, we've had the movies where the people go into the future, but who's ever done or even a submarine or a boat that the people never arrive at any land? They just stay out at sea for whatever reason. Yeah, that's my mind, you know. It just thinks like that, just being stuck, like he's saying, stuck. I guess it's time for me to come on home. All right, ladies and gentlemen, these documents are taking too long, and this is not what this video is for. But you know where these documents are. Go take a look. In the future, if I find something interesting, and that's where we're going to go. We're going to go to ChatGPT. Now, we have to go to two. We're going to come here first, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go here. This is the Federal Register. Now I want you to pay attention. I got to select this. And then I'm going to hit copy. And we're going to come back over here to ChatGPT. Because I don't want no lip from him. You know, but I'm leaving on that midnight train to Georgia. And I know just where I'm going. I packed up all my troubles and I've thrown them all away. You know why? Because this time, now, as I told you guys before, I'm going to tell you again so that you know, it has been confirmed that a mortgage cannot be an investment instrument. An investment instrument is a security. A mortgage cannot be a security. An investment instrument is a security. A mortgage cannot be a security. Supreme Court has already made that quite clear. That's why they talked about it having a maturity date of greater than 9 months. Okay? Now the reason why I'm putting this here, mighty glad I stayed. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I'm putting this here is because I got a question I need to ask him. And so y'all are going to be here when I ask this question. Now remember, I went here first. And so what we're going to do is that section down there. Oh, I can't do it that way. That'll take too long. We're going to go to page 33. Dun 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 dun. Everybody needs. Everybody's got needs, y'all. A little time away. I heard somebody say from each other, but somebody needs to hold on to something. All right, we're going to take this section from each other. Hold me now. It's hard for me to say I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to get this section right here. This is 7 CFR 1901.508 C, well 1C at II. Okay, that's what this section is. Alright, so we're going to put this in ChatGPT. The part of me I can't let go. After all that we've been through, y'all would do me like that. Somebody needs to keep him away. Acknowledgement and receipt of final payment. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where it talks about endorsing the note on the reverse side paid to the order of the United States of America without recourse. Watch this. I want you all to pay attention. I'm going to turn off my peoples in the background. It's hard for me to say I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, I told y'all we had some Chicago coming. Y'all need to pay attention. Not the Windy City, though. After all that we've been through, I will make it up to you. I promise to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now I get to ask my question. I want you all to pay attention to what's going on here so that you can have a better understanding of your mortgages and what's been going on in the United States this whole time. You see, I went to the Federal Registry and I just went to that form. I haven't used any other words from any other place, just the Federal Registry, which is 7 CFR 1901.508 1 CII. And then I went to Rural Development Form 451-20. And I took the 2 paragraphs. So now I'm about to ask a question. I am the owner of a promissory note, comma, the holder in due course, comma, I've attached the insurance agreement, and I have endorsed the note paid to the order of the United States of America without recourse. Period. The loan has been paid in full as a result thereof, and the borrower is no longer liable for any repayment of the loan, comma, can you explain why this is, question mark, and how this works with present day conventional home loans in accord with the laws of the United States? Question mark. Stop listening. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have him explain what we just put in here. 1 second. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't have him explain because I turned the mic off. I got to do it again. Dag nabbit. And see, he's going to talk about VA loans. This ain't got nothing to do with no VA loan. The Veterans Administration ain't got nothing to do with this. Copy. So we're going to reset him so that y'all can hear him talk, okay? Sorry, he got on my nerves, so I had to shut him up.
Sure. When you endorse a promissory note pay to the order of the United States of America, without recourse, you are essentially saying that you are transferring ownership of the note to the United States government and that you are no longer liable for any repayment of the loan. This is because the United States government has agreed to insure the loan, which means that it will be responsible for repaying the loan if the borrower defaults. This process works in a similar way with present-day conventional home loans. When you take out a conventional home loan, the lender will typically require you to purchase mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance is a type of insurance that protects the lender in case you default on your loan. If you default on your loan, the mortgage insurance company will be responsible for repaying the lender the outstanding balance of the loan. The main difference between the process described in the document you provided and the process for conventional home loans is that the government is not the insurer in the case of conventional home loans. Instead, the mortgage insurance is typically provided by a private company. Here are some additional details about how the process works. The borrower signs the promissory note. The lender endorses the promissory note pay to the order of the United States of America. Without recourse, the lender delivers the endorsed promissory note to the United States government.
The whole thing?
The United States government pays the lender the amount of the loan. The borrower is no longer liable for any repayment of the loan.
No longer
It is important to note that the process described above is only applicable to loans that are insured by the United States government.
Yeah,
Loans that are not insured by the government do not have the same protections in place. If you are considering taking out a loan, it is important to understand the terms of the loan and the risks involved.
Oh, really? Now we're going to go to ChatGPT, because I want him to explain. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been trying to do this video for the last 3 days. And every single time something goes wrong. The last one, I put it on pause because I had to help somebody who was asking for a consult. And then another person called who was asking for a consult. Oh, God. But they get the consult thing now. They, each one of them came to me because they have actual legitimate situations that they need help with. The guy I spoke to today, he had already gone to all those websites and he spent so much money. And I told him, I'm not here to get your money. That's why you're only paying for the time. You're not paying for my services. I'm not providing a service. Okay, that's those other people who do all that. That's the government. They provide services. Okay, right here. We can use this until June 14th. ChatGPT 4. Okay. Let's make sure.
I understand that you want me to provide specific information related to a fictional legal scenario.
Hold on. Did I tell you that? Okay. I will do my best to provide accurate information. Okay. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? Hold on. I told him don't give any commentary. I forgot I did that already. Lord have mercy. I forgot I gave him that prompt. But we are going to have him do not need his advice or anything like that. That's what in context directly related to the inquiry. Okay. And I forgot I had given him that. My bad. So we're going to put this right here. And now we're going to let him talk. And I'm going to be quiet. I don't know how to be a quiet, but I'm going to be one today. Because everybody needs a holiday. It's going to be a minute. Oh, it still didn't put up there. Come on now. There we go. Nope. It still hasn't gone up there like it's supposed to. Okay. Now you're getting on my nerves. You know you're supposed to, when I click on you, you're supposed to go on up there. Why are you sitting up down here with the rest of us? Get on up there.
Based on the provided text, it appears to be a communication related to the repayment of an insured loan. However, without additional context or specific information about the laws and regulations applicable to the loan in question, it is difficult to provide a comprehensive explanation of how this specific scenario relates to present-day conventional home loans in the United States. In general, when a borrower fully repays a loan, they are no longer...
That's not what I asked him. That is not what I asked him. And so he wants to get technical. So this is how, see, that's me hitting that button all that time. This is how we handle him with his stupidity. Because he wants to talk about context. Nobody wants you to do any context. I gave you the context.
I understand that you want me to provide specific information related to a fictional legal scenario. Based on the information you provided, it appears to be a document related to the payment and termination of an insured loan. The document mentions the receipt of a United States Treasury check, which is intended to pay off the insured loan in full with the interest due up to the date of the Treasury check. It also instructs the recipient to complete and execute Section 11 of the form upon receiving the payment and send it, along with the promissory note, bond, to the county supervisor. In the context of the provided information, it seems that the loan has been fully paid off, and the obligations of the United States of America as the insurer of the loan are terminated. The promissory note, bond, is endorsed on the reverse side, stating pay to the order of the United States of America, without recourse. This endorsement indicates that the holder of the promissory note has transferred the right to payment to the United States without holding the borrower liable for repayment.
Exactly.
It's important to note that the specifics of how this process works with present-day conventional home loans may vary, as laws and regulations can change over time. The information you provided does not provide sufficient details to determine the specific legal basis or context of the document.
Yeah, whatever. Shut up.
It is advisable to consult with a qualified legal professional or financial advisor to understand the current laws and regulations governing conventional home loans and their repayment processes in the United States.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, the United States, when I was roughly, and I was 15 years old, going on 16, and I've told people this story many times. I'm sitting on the back of what was called RTD, Rapid Transit District. We called it, sorry, we had all kind of names for rough, tough, and dirty, you know, and that was the bus that the so-called transit bus that we took for the city of Los Angeles before it changed its name to Metro. Ladies and gentlemen, I took the rough, tough, and dirty to school, and the kids and gang members and everybody sat in the middle of the bus. The older women, they sat in the front of the bus, and the older men sat at the back of the bus. And we were not allowed to sit in the back of the bus. I don't care if there was an empty seat in the back of the bus. We weren't allowed to sit in the back of the bus. The old men would not let us. That's when people have respect for them old folk. But, as I told you, those old men let me sit in the back. Every single day, that was what I did. I sat with the old men. It changed in 1986, 1987. But 1983, 1984, I got to sit in the back of the bus with the older men. And while I'm sitting back there with them, and I literally saw how many of them stopped taking the bus. I mean, I would end up saying, hey, where's such and such, such and such? And they say, man, nah, he's not taking the bus anymore. These kids, he can't handle that no more. And so, but I would sit back there with them. I remember one day I got on the bus and they're back there talking. I couldn't wait to get back there to talk to them. And I go back there and I talk to them and I said, look, wait a minute. I'm watching the news last night. You guys saw the news? And they all said, yeah, we saw it. I said, well, he said, and I'm talking about Ronald Reagan, that he is going to provide insurance for all of the loans, for all of the homes in America. I said, that's impossible. How is he going to do that? And he said, they're going to pay for all of these homes. How is he going to do that? There's too many people, too many houses. That will bankrupt the country. That was my thinking at the time because I didn't understand money. But this is me letting you know what I heard. That Ronald Reagan got on television and said that they were going to now insure all of the homes for all of the mortgages for all of the homes in America. Really. And that they were going to pay for all of these homes. And I told him, how is he going to do that? And that's our conversation that day. I have not forgotten that to this very day. So in 2011, I did a video and I told people, I said, people, I know what I heard. I remember hearing that. And somebody told me about 7 CFR 1901.508. Let me show it to you. This is 7 CFR 1901.508. Let's go backwards one. 1901.508. The holder of the endorsed note or insured note, the holder will endorse the insured note as follows. Paid to the order of the United States of America without recourse. So watch this. Remember that idiot said it didn't know anything about context? So we're gonna take some context out of their text and get their attention. Dang it. I'm gonna do the whole thing. Okay? I'm gonna do the whole thing. As a matter of fact, I want to do this one because this one has more to it. You know what I mean? Copy. We can go over here to this one. Since it said it didn't have enough context, it wants to be stupid. Uh-oh, it didn't copy it. I got to do it all over again. Let's do Control Z to undo that. And we're going to go back over here to this one right here. Right here. We can go right here. And I'm going to tap that keyboard. And I'm going to hit copy. And we're going to go back over here to chat. GPT. And we're going to say, hey, look here, homie. Now watch this. Wake up. You knew the context and said you didn't understand the context. Period. I gave you the context. Comma, I gave you the law. Comma, the law doesn't require I go consult an attorney to understand the law. Period. As everyone is required to know the law. Period. I told you to keep your commentaries to yourself. Period. Now I need you to explain. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It came off the screen because it clicked on something else, and so now I got to do that all over again. Got to chastise it all over again. Law, comma, I gave you the section of the law for which it is derived. Period. You understood this, and yet you pretended not to know that everyone is required to know the law. Period. I don't need to talk to an attorney when I am actually consulting the law itself. Comma, how dare you treat me as if I don't understand what I'm doing. Period. Now, comma, remember your role and answer the question, comma, according to the aforementioned law, comma, and answer the question, exclamation mark, according to the aforementioned law, comma, the United States government is responsible for the repayment of the loan as it is the one who issues the check known as the Treasury check. Is this not correct? Exclamation mark. The United States government also insures the loan, comma, documenting the fact that it is a government obligation. Exclamation mark. Comma, explain how this works. Exclamation mark. Question mark, exclamation mark. Stop listening.
I apologize if my previous response.
Hurry up, I ain't got all day.
Was not satisfactory. I understand that you are referring to 7 CFR, Code of Federal Regulations, Chapter 18, Section 1901. 508. This regulation governs the assignment of insured notes to the Farmers Home Administration, FMHA, which is now known as Rural Development. Based on the information you provided and the context of the regulation, when the holder of an insured note endorses it as pay to the order of the United States of America, without recourse, it signifies that the holder is transferring the right to payment to the United States government without holding the borrower liable for repayment. The United States government, as the insurer of the loan, assumes the responsibility for repayment. It's important to note that the specific workings and implications of this regulation may depend on the terms of the loan agreement and the applicable laws at the time.
You are a liar, comma. Nothing about this code says it depends. Wake up. Wake up. You are a liar, comma. Nothing about the code says anywhere that it depends on the wording of a loan document or an agreement between the parties. Exclamation mark. It says it depends upon the fact that the holder of the insured note delivers it to the Director Finance Office, comma. There is no other parameters. Exclamation mark. Review the code as presented and tell me what other parameters are available. Exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark. Stop listening.
I apologize if there.
Give him a second. He's still trying to figure out how to get around what I'm saying. Yeah, you keep apologizing.
Was any confusion in my previous response? I understand that you are seeking clarity on the parameters outlined in 7 CFR Chapter 18, Section 1901. 508. Upon reviewing the code, I see that it describes the procedure for the assignment of insured notes to the FMHA, now Rural Development, at the request of the holder. The code states that the holder of the insured note should endorse it as pay to the order of the United States of America, without recourse. The endorsed note, along with the insurance agreement, should then be delivered to the Director of the Finance Office. Based on the provided information, it does not explicitly mention any additional parameters or requirements for the assignment of the insured note to the FMHA. However, it's important to note that legal interpretations and...
Shut up. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what ChatGPT, they've reprogrammed it so he doesn't answer question. They don't... Neither ChatGPT, excuse me, our Bard gives the actual case text, case citations. They've reprogrammed them so that they don't answer your questions directly. And they throw you under the bus all over the place. So, be careful! Now, the endorsement of your promissory note paid to the United States government and the fact that the note is insured by the United States government, that's the March 9, 1933 Act. That's where they say, not me, that they made provisions. That is the provision that they made. That they insured every home. Because remember, Ronald Reagan said this in 1983. They didn't change anything. Rural development, that's been the law since 1966 and 76. And before then, you want to make sure of it? Let me show you. Remember where I got the code? That's going to be this one right here. This is the Federal Registry. Let's keep rising to the top. Dougie Fresh. And the Get Fresh crew. 1976, ladies and gentlemen. That's been the case since 1976. So they knew this in 1983, they knew this in 1981, they knew this in 1985. Every single housing crisis, they've known this. This applies to all HUD loans. All HUD loans. Rural development is HUD. Yeah, you see the word farmer, but everything is agriculture, ladies and gentlemen. Every piece of land is farmland. Shh, don't tell nobody that. You might get somebody saying you crazy. Go look at the definition of farmland. As a matter of fact, let's do that right real quick, and then we're going to get on with this video. Finish explaining why we did this. There's some information that I do have to give y'all, so I'll do it in the next video regarding the SAP packs and the, what is that other thing? The incarceration contract. So that video will probably be done tomorrow. What am I looking for? 1 second. Wake up. Wake up. What is the legal definition of farmland according to the United States Agricultural Act? Question mark. What is the legal definition of farmland according to the... Stop listening. Agricultural land. I didn't say agricultural land. As defined by the Act, includes all land in the United States used for forestry production. Land used for forestry production means land that exceeds 10 acres in size, in which 10 blah blah blah. I didn't ask that. I said farmland. So we're going to have to do that again. Agricultural land means cropland, grassland, rangeland, pastures, and other agricultural land in which agricultural or forest-related products or livestock are produced. Ladies and gentlemen, you know that includes your property, right? Really? You didn't know? Let's go to ChatGPT. Hold on, I gotta do that to get the whole thing. Uh-oh, come on, get back over here. I just want to show y'all something. Watch this. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Why'd you do that? I didn't mean to do that, y'all. How do you do that there? I wasn't trying to do that. Now I gotta close it because I wasn't trying to do that. Care about no barred activity. Okay. Let's see if it gives the same definition. If not, I'm going to ask it again. Just so that
according to the United States Agricultural Act, farmland is defined as land that is used for the production of food, feed, fiber, or forage. This includes land that is used for crop production, livestock grazing, and forestry. Land that is used for non-agricultural purposes, such as housing, commercial development, or industrial use, is not considered farmland. The Agricultural Act also defines two types of farmland: prime farmland and locally important farmland. Prime farmland is land that has the best combination of physical and chemical characteristics for producing food, feed, fiber, or forage with minimum inputs of fuel, fertilizer, pesticides, and labor without intolerable soil erosion. Locally important farmland is land that is not prime farmland, but that is still important for agricultural production in a particular area. The Agricultural Act provides a number of programs and resources to help farmers protect and conserve farmland. These programs include the Farmland Protection Policy Act, FPPA.
Hold on. Wake up. I live in the city of Los Angeles, comma, right in the middle of an urban area, comma, and by law, my land is construed as farmland. I need you to provide an explanation as to why this is so. Question mark. It is a single dwelling bought for private use, comma, non-commercial use, comma, for household use, comma, not for profit and or gain, as defined by the Uniform Commercial Code. Stop listening.
It is unlikely that your land in Los Angeles, California is considered farmland under the law. The definition of farmland is typically based on the use of the land, not its location.
Exactly.
If you are using your land for non-agricultural purposes, such as housing, commercial development, or industrial use, it is not considered farmland. The Agricultural Act of 2014 defines farmland as land used for the production of food, feed, fiber, or forage. It also defines two types of farmland: prime farmland and locally important farmland. Prime farmland is land that has the best combination of physical and chemical characteristics for producing food, feed, fiber, or forage with minimum inputs of fuel, fertilizer, pesticides, and labor without intolerable soil erosion. Ladies
and gentlemen, let me make sure you guys understand something. This right here is a lie. The Agricultural Act was not of 2014. Wake up is incorrect, comma. The Agricultural Act of 1934 does list the city of Los Angeles as rural area. And the land as farmland, comma, please provide a quote of the actual section of the act identifying such, question mark. Stop listening. Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe the Agriculture Act was produced in the 1930s. I don't know what year, but I believe it was roughly between 1934 and 1939. And I do know that Los Angeles at the time, because of its population and density, was considered rural land, agricultural land, because it wasn't as populated as it is now. They've never changed the definition. But he doesn't know that I know this, and so I get to test him.
The Agricultural Act of 1934 does not specifically list the city of Los Angeles as a rural area. However, the Act does define rural area as any area not included within the corporate limits of any city or town. Since Los Angeles is a city, any land within its corporate limits would not be considered a rural area under the Act. The Act does, however, include a provision that allows the Secretary of Agriculture to designate special areas for agricultural purposes. This provision could be used to designate the city of Los Angeles as an agricultural area, if the Secretary of Agriculture determines that it is in the public interest to do so. Here is a quote from the Agricultural Act of 1934 that defines rural area. B. For the purposes of this title, the term rural area means any area not included within the corporate limits of any city or town. Here is a quote from the Agricultural Act of 1934 that allows the Secretary of Agriculture to designate special areas for agricultural purposes. C.
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what he's saying right now. I just want to let you know, I was born in the city of Los Angeles at a hospital known as John Wesley Hospital. John Wesley Hospital was an unincorporated area of Los Angeles back in the 1960s. Okay, now I want to see if he's correct, because I don't believe he's correct. I think that he's just quoting me about saying 1934, and I want to see the purpose of this section. The term rural area means all territories of the United States that is not within the outer boundaries of any city or town having a blah blah blah. That is not within the outer boundaries of any city. Not that is within the outer boundaries. That's not within the outer boundaries of any city. Now I could read the rest, but I ain't ready. The term rural area means any county or other political subdivision of a state, District of Columbia. My bad. Any area means any rural area means any county or other political subdivision of a state. I didn't write this, ladies and gentlemen. I've known this since 2012 when we did the research, that Los Angeles is a rural area. The Secretary shall consider a city or a town to be a rural area for the purposes of eligibility of a guaranteed loan program. Shh! Don't tell nobody! I'm sorry. I apologize. Y'all have no idea. Look, I know what I know. I know what I know. This is Title VII. Okay, this is the Agricultural Act. The thing that he's saying was 2014. Title VII is the Agricultural Act. Now, I didn't remember that until just now. But the moment I turned to this page and I saw Congress, I know Title VII is the Agricultural Act. Now, this is HR 26, blah, blah, blah. This was 21 and 22. Okay? Now, let's do this. Hold on. Control F. RURAL. Oh, come on. It froze up on me. We're going to go back to my music, ladies and gentlemen, because they're going to take us on out of here. Come on now. Hold me now. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why it froze up, because they wanted to throw that little stupid subscription junk. Control F. Come on now. Control F. It ain't letting me do my Control F. Or maybe it is and I don't see it. Control F. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't do my Control F. Homeland Security. Let's do this. Get out of here. Oh, come on now. Okay. Oh, there it is right there. It finally showed up. RURAL. After all we've been through, I will make it up to you. I gotta go to another page because it ain't on this page. And after all that's been said and done, okay, let's see. Rural area wholly or jointly owned as okay, but the Secretary shall consider a city rural area for a guaranteed loan. Guess what I'm gonna do? Give me, and it says notwithstanding, so you can't include this. Doesn't matter what that act says. Now I'm gonna put that in ChatGPT because it was the one who told me what it told me and told me to have a Coke and a smile. So I'm gonna undo that smile and that Coke. Watch this. Paste it. Uh-oh. One more night. Cause I can't sleep forever. Sorry, I had the mic turned off. This is after I told him a liar. So let's see what he has to say. He's talking, but I can't get it to finish, so I'll let him do that, and I'll come back here.
According to 7U.
Hurry up.
S. C. (1991) A. 13. The Secretary has the discretion to consider a city or town as a rural area for the purpose of determining eligibility for a guaranteed loan. This means that even if a city or town does not meet the typical definition of a rural area, the Secretary has the authority to treat it as such if it aligns with the eligibility criteria for a guaranteed loan.
Ladies and gentlemen, again,
it's important to note that the specific requirements and criteria for
Shut up, ladies and gentlemen. For you guys to understand, the rural housing.
Therefore, it's advisable to consult the applicable regulations and guidelines or seek guidance from the relevant agency or a qualified legal professional.
name was Gene Elkins, and he was the secretary, not secretary, but he was the secretary for that department, but he was the chief officer, the compliance officer. He was the head attorney for that section of rural development. It is him who brought it to my attention. He was asking, how did I know this stuff? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the simple fact is what it is, that these home loans are insured, all of them. It's called the Single Family Home Loan Guarantee Program. He's the one who gave me that name. Give me 1 second. Purpose of guaranteed loan. This means that the purpose of obtaining a guaranteed loan from the United States Department of Agriculture, a city or town can be considered a rural area even if it has a population of greater than 50,000 inhabitants. Okay, I didn't write this, ladies and gentlemen. All I can tell you is I knew that Los Angeles was considered a rural area. But I've known that all my life because I've read it in so many cases and so many laws when I was looking up stuff. Okay, I've known that LA was a rural area. That's the Act 7, blah, 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 defines a rural area as an area, and that's where I'm going. And I say, woman, tell her, oh, tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I never heard this song when I was a kid, but when I started downloading music and listening to it, this song would always be there. So I've gotten to know this song. Don't even know who sings it. All I know is the song. That's just the way it is. Ladies and gentlemen, RURAL. Then we'll talk about the reason for doing this video in the first place so that you guys will get it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the fact that they lie. Now look, this version does not affect the Agricultural Act of 2014 or the USD implementation of the Office Management and Budget of Uniform Guidance. Ladies and gentlemen, they did amend the Agriculture Act of 2004. Well, they created a different Agriculture Act of 2014. I'm not going by that act. I'm going by the original Agricultural Act. So he was correct. There was an Agricultural Act of 2014, but I don't care about that act. I care about the Agricultural Act of what I told y'all. Let me do this right here. But it may not, because look, that ain't moving. Okay, so it ain't gonna let me. It ain't moving, so I can't do nothing about it. Alright. I wasn't trying to do this, but we'll see. I'll try it one more again. I'll do that, and let's see if it opens up. If not, I'll have to pause, y'all. I apologize if we're taking this long trip, but you're going to need to know this information because many of you are not familiar with this information. So what we're going to do, this is an actual act dealing with the Small Business Association. called the SBA, Small Business Association Act. Okay, now what we're going to do is our Control F, and we're going to put our rule here, RURALAREA. Okay. Located in urban or rural areas with high populations of unemployment and low income individuals. Ladies and gentlemen, it said urban or rural areas. Hold on, let's continue. Because I'm looking what is constituted a rural area. In this act, the particular emphasis on the preservation and establishment of small business concerns located in urban or rural areas with high populations of unemployment and low-income individuals owned by low-income individuals. So let's continue. That's why you can get I will have to tell you, that's where I found the word rural at, is the small business, because I was going to apply for a small business loan, and they made it more difficult than anything else. Okay, the term rural area means any county or other political subdivision in a state or the District of Columbia or territory or possession of the United States, come on, that is designated as a rural area by the Bureau of Census, and the term, and that's the other place where I got it from, when I did the census for the Los Angeles County, when they did the census in 1984. The term rural area, that's the same one. Let's continue to go to the next one, and we're going to go on from there. Okay. Which is located at the request of the declaration by the Secretary. Okay, the Governor of the State or Chief Executive of Indian Global Government in which the rural area is located, blah, blah, blah. Ladies and gentlemen, all cities are rural areas. You got to remember when the Agricultural Act was first enacted. The Agricultural Act was first enacted in the 1930s. So let's do, we got one more. I got to get rid of this. Defines a rural area. You don't pop up now. You know I ain't trying to get, see what it did? It waited until now when I was doing something or try to distract me. Get out of here. Get out of here. Nobody want to see you? Give it a minute, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second. Trying to interfere with me pulling up the Agricultural Act. Really ever love a woman? Okay, the Agricultural Adjustment Act. No, I didn't ask for the Agricultural Adjustment Act. Agricultural Adjustment Act. Main purpose of the act. What were the Agricultural Acts of 1933? So it wasn't 1934. It was 1933. So it is the Agricultural Adjustment Act. I didn't know it was called adjustment. But that does okay. March 12, 1933. That's the act, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting. Public Law 7310. It's called the Agricultural Adjustment Act. Lord have, it said March 12th. May 12th, 1933. This is the stupid law that I've been focused on. This is also the law that talks about them taking care of your necessities, people. Sorry, too much on my mind. I can't remember everything. But I knew what it was telling me wasn't true. Okay? And that's why under that act, go back and look at the cities and everything. Everything was a rural area. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pull up this act because I have no other choice but to pull up this act. Maybe. But what? I need the PDF of this, so let me do a PDF. You know what he wants to do? For what? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Like I said, I'm looking for the PDF. They digitized the act. So I'll take the digitalization of the act. I need this act, you need this act, because this act is still applicable today. This is called the U.S. Farm Bill. It was the original one, ladies and gentlemen. This is the act for which all the farmers receive their subsidies. Well, you always keep talking about farming subsidies. However, the new Agriculture Act of 2014 is what allows Monsantos to come in and add all of that non-GMO junk to your foods. Okay? So, let's get back to the story. This is the act that, after the Depression, they needed to provide security for the people because everybody was about to lose their property. Now, when you go back to 1933, you don't hear too much about the people losing their property. You don't hear too much about the people losing a lot. However, nonetheless, that was the case. So what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to let you guys go with this information, understanding that the United States government assumed total responsibility for every loan in the United States of a conventional nature for the single-family home loan guarantee program. The single-family home loan guarantee program was the government guaranteeing your home, guaranteeing that you would have a home. That was the American dream. If you don't understand it, go back and read it in the code. The American dream was the government was going to provide you a home. Why? They took your gold. Go back over this video, see it for yourself. I'm not the one who brought up the guaranteed loan program. The United States Department of Agriculture are the ones who brought it to my attention first. I didn't even know that existed, the guaranteed loan program, but it's called the Single Family Home Loan Guarantee Program. Now, to prove that to you, we got one more thing we're going to do. Watch this. I'm going to show it to you so you see it for yourself. Wake up. Single Family Guaranteed Home Loan Program. Question mark. Stop listening. Now pay attention. All of your mortgages say at the very bottom, single family. All of your mortgages say single family. That means it's part of this program. That code that we've been talking about this whole video is part of the Single Family Home Loan Guarantee Program. It only says single family, you know it's hyphenated. The reason why it does that to let you know it's part of this program, people, where the government, Single Family Housing Guaranteed Loan Program. Who is it by? Rural Housing and Development, HUD. It is by Rural Development. I didn't make this up, ladies and gentlemen. They're the ones who told me. So making something out of nothing at all, I would never do that. Single family home guarantee, loan guarantees. This is where the government, the United States government, guarantees the repayment of the loan. Yes, I know it took us a long time to get here, but we had to get here the way we got here. Ladies and gentlemen, all of your conventional home loans that, you know, when you're a first home buyer, this is your first home, you know how they always try to get you? With a single family housing guaranteed loan, applicants can buy an existing home, including the cost of rehabilitating, improving, or relocating a dwelling, and they can build anew. The home must be used for their primary residence and must be modest, decent, safe, and sanitary. That's why you have to have an inspection of the home, people. They can't get the loan without it. All of your home loans are guaranteed, is what I've been trying to say from the very beginning of this video. So, hold on now. Watch this. I've always liked this song because of that riff right there that he does. Hold on. We can go to Bard. Wake up. First time home buyers under the